Now, before you go chewing off my face. Is that a term? Is that a saying? Do people say that before you go chewing off my face? If not, I just coined it right there. Before you go chewing off my face, A, I don't have a D&D video. B, I'm sitting behind the desk. However, that's not all I've got for you. So you're not going to see a lot of me here tonight. I've got 2 or 3 things that I need to talk to you guys about. Very important stuff. Well, kind of. So where do we begin? How about this? Yeah. The Dude Abides. I saw it, and that was the first thing I thought. When I used to think, before I really was into The Big Lebowski, I used to see the word dude and be like, I'm going to say it, dude, I hate that word. Like, I that was no irony there. It was just pure, I use the word a lot, and I don't like the word until The Big Lebowski. And now I've grown to like it a little bit more again. Anywho, I had to go out to Walmart tonight. I didn't have to. I had to get gas because gas is just dropping at leaps and bounds down here. $2.29 for regular unleaded here. I didn't fill my tank. I only put 10 gallons in, but it was so cheap. It's so crazy. It's a huge... I never thought having low gas prices was really important. Like, I didn't enjoy the fact that it was up to $4 at some point or over $4. However, it's just something like you can't control. You can't do anything about it. It sucks. It's one of the worst things you have to deal with. But you just deal with it. Like, you have to have gas for your car to get to work. If you don't go to work, then you can't make money. If you can't make money, you can't provide for your family, can't keep the electricity going, can't feed people. So gas is relatively important, and you just have to bend over and take it up the old wahoo. You do. Yep. Sorry. Where's Dr. Carl? He was on here a little while ago. Oh. Dr. Carl had a terrible fall. He's alright, though, now. He's a doctor. He knew how to handle it. Sorry for the kind of lame-ass video yesterday. I did get the cats, though. I thought it was nice that you guys got to see the cats. They're really beautiful, wonderful animals. I love animals. I really do. It's just... It's tough. It's another expense trying to take care of like 3 or 4 more animals. And when the raccoons are eating all the food, it's like, eat the scraps, man. We leave you our scraps. Just leave the cat food alone. I just don't know what to do. I love the raccoons. I love the kittens, but you can't afford to keep buying $13 bags of cat food like for once a week. Like that used to last Toby about a month or more. I don't know. I guess it's all relative, where you spend your money. Like if you choose to spend it on fancy schmancy electronics or whatever, that's great. But then you shouldn't have pets, or you should maybe even not have kids at that point. You know what I mean? You have to level out at some point, and it's tough. It's tough to level out. I'm looking at a note over here. You can't see it. I forgot to call the electric company today. Oops. Oh, who needs power? That would suck. That would suck terribly. What did I want to talk about tonight? All right, well, let me show you the first thing. The first thing is I was out at Walmart tonight doing my thing. Coming home. Just a nightmare at Walmart, first and foremost. Their spice section is fucking horrendous. It's horrible, and it's disgusting. And they shouldn't even be a grocery store if they're not going to have a good... that's an interesting point, too. I know the last 2 nights I haven't been able to stay on course. I think I need some drugs or something. I remember there used to be grocery stores and department stores. Until Walmart, I don't remember that ever being a whole unit. The first time I ever experienced that was probably around 96, 97. I can't remember. It was whenever the Walmart in Rainham, Massachusetts, the first one went up. And seeing that store and just being like, holy shit, this store is ginormous. I'd never been to a Walmart before. They'd been around, obviously, but, we never had one in our area in New England at the time. And so that was the first time in my life. Up until then, I remember, like I talk about sometimes, in my mind it looks a little hazy, it looks a little yellowed out. But I remember Bradley's. And I swear to God, I remember people smoking butts in Bradley's. That was a mall. And I know in the mall you could smoke butts. So I'm assuming in stores, probably in the early 80s, you could just walk into stores smoking butts. That's a funny thing, huh? I remember it, though. I remember that. The little that I do remember, that's one of the things that really jumps out at me. That's not what I wanted to talk about. Actually, what I wanted to talk about, we're going to wait a minute on. I have a project I'm going to start working on. You probably won't care if you don't know me about it. If you don't know me, you're not going to care about this. This and this. I can't remember which one came first. And I'm sure some of you, if you were born around, the late 70s, mid to late 70s. I guess I'm mid. 75? Yeah. Is the albums I have from being a baby. I think the purple one I liked better. Alright. I'm just going to show you a few pictures now because I am going to upload these and I'm actually going to do a photo book for myself. Oh my god. My mother literally ruined. Oh my god. Here's a great one right here. That's from my first haircut. That's me drinking out of a shitty plastic bottle with some Tupperware on my head in a crappy, probably child dangerous playpen. And there's some hair. That's literally my first hair. That's my baby hair right there in my hand. I'm sure a lot of people, at least from, it's just the thing that breaks my heart. 7 months. 7 months old. It's my first haircut. Look at this. This is what kills me. She put stickers on pictures. And that had to have been within the last 10 or 15 years. You know what I mean? Like, that ruins it. Like, this is how, when I think of the 70s, when I talk to you about this, I'm just ripping these out. It sucks. I'd really like to preserve the books, but they're not what's important. This is what I talk about. Like, I don't know if you can see it. It's hard. No, it doesn't look right on camera. Maybe you can. I don't know. It's got a yellow tint to it. And that's probably just the age of the photo. But I'm going to take all of these. I have probably, I kid you not, this is the very first picture of me. Want to see the very first picture of me? There it is. Baby Jason Oliveira. Which they spelt wrong in one of these, by the way. Imagine if I read something here that I was just like, that's impossible. I had a twin. That would be pretty cool. But I've got probably 10 or 12 albums that my mother put together from the day I was born up until probably about 16 or 17, and then I turned into just the asshole teenager and was a jerk. I don't know. Some things never change, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. So I think that'll be a fun project. It's going to be a long project. All right, I'm going to say this now. I didn't want to bring you guys down in the middle. I hope it doesn't bring you down too much. Whether you believe in prayer or good luck or good energy or whatever, it'd be nice to send it my mother's way. A few weeks ago, we went into the emergency room. I think I maybe told you about this. And she was sick. It was 2:30 in the morning. Well, she woke up at 2:30 in the morning. She didn't call me till 6. And then her back was hurting her by then. So we went to the emergency room. And she got some CT scans done. Well, they sent her for a biopsy because she had cancer, uterine cancer, and she had all her the hysterectomy, full hysterectomy. Well, when she got the results back last week, they weren't very good. As we predicted, they were cancerous, and so she has to go back to chemotherapy after just finally starting to get over it. It's really rough. But they also said at this point, it's quality of life, pretty much. So, I don't... Doctors' words don't mean much to me. That's why I haven't been to the doctor in probably 20 years. It's a ladybug. If you can see it. These and the stink bugs are everywhere. But the way I see it, some people are told they have 6 months to a year to live. And they end up living, 10 more years. Or sometimes even longer. So you can't go by what the doctors say. But nonetheless, it's not a very good outcome. So good energy, positive energy, prayers if that's your thing. Because she's a good lady. She took care of me pretty well growing up. Yeah. I was going to leave that to the end or another video just to, a lot of people Well, not a lot of people watch these. That's the problem. I'd like to let people know, but it's just easier to do it like in a Facebook status update. But that's almost so impersonal. At least here they can, I don't know. Been kind of depressed myself lately. Just life in general. It's been rough. Anywho, so yeah, we got that. Wanted to let you know about my mother. Oh my god, now we got a stink bug coming up over here. But on my way back from Walmart tonight, I'd been talking to Carol. I had already shopped once, brought my stuff out of my car, didn't even get out of the parking lot when we realized there was a few things that we still needed. So turned around, back to Walmart again, got the stuff we needed to do. It wasn't bad. I mean, I love gallivanting and I love shopping. So, but it's just, I like shopping and coming home. And it's nobody's fault. It was just one of those things where I was like, shit, yeah, you're right. We forgot that. Yes, we need this. And so I went back. Well, on my way home, I told Carol I was going to stop at 2 locations. They are houses that decorate really crazy around here. Now, mind you, I don't think it's anything like I used to remember seeing in Taunton. I mean, they're pretty well done. But I remember going around Taunton and Attleboro. You could drive through neighborhoods. Well, once again, this is probably going back late 70s, early 80s, where our families would just go out. Me, my uncle, my grandmother, my mother would just go driving and would just look at all the houses lit up. And there was, just hundreds of them. Like, it was so amazing back then. So many things go away. Like, the old Taunton Theater was torn down today. Now, I'm not talking about a movie theater. I am talking about a movie theater, but I'm going back to, like, the 40s, 50s with this stuff. Maybe even 30s. Silent film and black and white film. And my grandmother used to tell me about how they'd go pay a nickel on a Saturday afternoon and watch hours of movies which were silent movies, and they would come back week after week to pick up basically where the previous episode left off. I guess nowadays that's just called television. But that's sad because like that will never be something ever again. I don't know. This is a touchy, really weird, funky way. I don't know why I feel the way I do about things like old theaters being torn down, but it's the buildings themselves are structurally beautiful the way they're built. Like, the architecture is just amazing, and you just don't get that anymore. Sure, there's beautiful architecture nowadays, and 20 years from now we'll be saying the same thing, 30, 40, 50 years from now. But to see something that your grandmother told you that she used to do, when she was a little kid, I mean, that has to be going back to, well, I mean, my dad was born, probably about 1918, so that was probably, she couldn't have been older than 20, maybe at the most, maybe 16, 17. Probably younger back then, because people got married younger back then. People did a lot of weird things younger back then. To know that building was torn to the ground today, I feel it a little bit, you know what I mean? I never went into that building. Never said I walked by it a million times as a kid, but it's kind of sad. I think I may have gone in once. Anywho, I was talking about lights on my way home from Walmart. So let me show you this. This is a quick little tour from House 1, which is pretty good. Actually, I like the look of it better this year. Not as many lights, but pretty nice looking. And I'll drive over to the second house. There are 2 houses in Lynchburg that I believe compete. This is the closest we get to Lhasa. Unfortunately, it's not quite as cold here. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. This is house number 1. I'm going to shut this off so that I don't kill myself. Well, let's see what we can do here. Whoa! And reverse. I know this is exciting for you. And that is a street light. Not quite as awesome as the house lights. Now, the one that we're heading to now, it's just around the corner here, is even better. It's got music. Yes, that is my emergency brake alarm going off constantly. And if you're wondering, over a year. You wonder why I'm not completely sane? Complain about that, or think about that next time you're going to complain about something going wrong in your car. I have to listen to that. Always. This is why Lynchburg is called the city on 7 hills. There's just hills everywhere. Anybody who owns
Flatland around here is lucky. Unfortunately, my battery's dying, so I'm hoping that I can at least make it up to this house and you can get a good look at it. A wonderful little look at it. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh boy. I should give you a tour of my car at some point, which is literally falling apart around me. I can't tell if it's the transmission or the speed sensor, but it bucks like a sumbitch. But it doesn't buck as bad as transmission, I don't think. I've had transmissions go on cars before. Oh, here we go, boys and girls. I hope you love it. It's really nice. I'd love to see their electric bill. Maybe it's all LEDs. Every year they do this, and it's very, very nice looking. That's Christmas spirit right there, folks. That is Christmas spirit. Walking in a winter wonderland. All right, you guys, I'll catch you back at my desk. Everybody hang out until then. Madness, absolute madness. Beautiful.
This one's not moving. Now I've got a second stink bug over here. So we got 2 stink bugs and a ladybug and 2 spiders. Dear God, dear Lord. Oh, bless you, child. Sorry, pardon me. Yeah. They're nice, but it's no Lhasa. That's something I miss. I miss going to Lhasa for some reason, and I know a lot of people from Taunton who might eventually watch this know that, like, this is just something typical to say, but people around here don't even realize it. Lhasa's the coldest place on Earth whenever you go to visit it in December. I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding you when I say it's like 20, 30 degrees. Like, well, no, I am kidding you at that point. It just seems bitterly cold. It must be the way that we've talked about this on an earlier episode too, that the hedges are built into it. Lhasa is a Catholic shrine, I believe it is. I don't know which division. By the way, the Pope said something interesting recently, and it never got talked about because I think it probably doesn't need to be talked about, or they're afraid of talking about it rather. He said that you do not need to believe in God to get into heaven. I've never heard a pope or a priest or a minister or rabbi, or, well, rabbi, I guess, it'd be a different story altogether, but ever say anything like that. When I heard that, I was just like, holy shit, man, this guy really is. The only problem is his stance on the weed. He doesn't agree with it. He doesn't think it should be legalized. However, I guess that's a whole be prepared sobriety thing that they talk about in the Bible, that Jesus is coming back at any minute now. You know how long I've heard that? You know how long everyone's heard that? I don't know. Whether it be true or not. I thought it was a nice thing that the Pope said. And like I said, with his exception, with the dislike of the weeds, he seems like a pretty progressive, pretty smart, pretty nice guy. We need more people like him in places of authority, because this world would be a lot better place. It would spin a lot happier together. So let me just show you this little tour here. Not here. It's actually just going to take over the whole screen. I do this a lot, and I do this when I'm talking to Grayson, and I don't know why. Or Griffin. Griffin. Yeah. Like, he's not up there. I'm just looking at the sky. I could just look right at the camera. Anywho. Here's my ride home. I'll be back in just a minute. Yeah.
Dash cam thing. Or a GoPro. That's what I need to get. I figured I would just drive with the old camera on. This is Crane Hill Drive, if I'm not mistaken. I've been here 10 years, and I don't know anything about anything. That's not true. I'm way better than Carol. She has no idea how to get around. She got lost in Boston once and called me, very upset, which is, it's not funny, but it's funny now. But then again, Boston is a lot easier to get lost in than Lynchburg. Downtown Lynchburg is a bit of a bitch to get around sometimes. It's not horrible, but there's a lot of the one-ways, kind of like you get in Boston, and not quite as good as New York. Here we go. Now this is Langhorne. My house, or my street, is off of Langhorne Road. I don't know if you guys saw any of it, probably because it's too dark, but somebody brought bamboo into this area a long time ago, and it flourished and went crazy, and now all throughout these like woods over here, along the Blackwater Creek Trail and along Ivy Creek, is just a shit ton of bamboo. You know, that might be a fun video. Maybe I'll take the kids out tomorrow. We'll go for a walk down to my neighbor's house and out into the Blackwater Creek Trail, because you never know what you're going to find out there. Although this time of year, you're likely to find nothing because, well, it's winter. Or it's almost winter. It's not quite winter yet. Bucking car. Gosh darn bucking car, I tell ya. Na 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 na. Let me entertain you with a song while we roll home. I'm on my way. Oop, I don't want to get a copyright strike, and I don't want to be embarrassed. Now, the nice thing about our road that we're turning onto in just a second here is it's not only is it a dead-end street, most people don't realize that their house is down here, so it's pretty quiet most of the time, unless you have a party or something. There was an abandoned house, not abandoned, but it didn't sell for a while, and Jesus Christ, this car. See, that's a dialysis center, and that's another medical office. I mean, if you're in the medical field, you should move to Lynchburg. It's stupid. This house used to be chaos, and somebody bought it and fixed it up. Looks really nice. If we're lucky, maybe we'll see a deer or something. There's always deer on our road. Sometimes even in our yard. When we first moved here, they were there all the time. Now it's a rare occurrence. Anywho, this is my house over here, underneath this street light. Here we go. Our version of Christmas is 2 sets of green lights on the front porch. Yep. And here we are. Makeshift fence so that the kids don't fall off of the driveway. Say goodbye to the headlights. Here they go.
And back to the desk. Okay, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Actually, that's a lot because I've already got 16 minutes and 40 seconds without adding on footage. By the time I add on footage, this is going to be ridiculous. I apologize. Thank you guys for always coming back. If you're loving watching these as much as I'm loving making them, please subscribe, comment, share. Give me something to talk about in the comments below. Share this with people who you know who might like watching things like this. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. At least 6 to 10 people do. Don't forget to make someone smile tomorrow. It's really easy this time of year. There's a lot of random acts of kindness going on out there. And a lot of protesting too, which is awesome. I don't know. Make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today tomorrow. Spend some time with yourself. If you like drawing, draw an extra 15 minutes tomorrow. Set that time aside. Because if you just keep setting things aside, things like this will never happen. That's why I brought these in here. Because if I don't bring them in, it wouldn't have happened. Now, I can guarantee you, maybe not all tomorrow, but I'll have at least 2 of these scanned in before Christmas, which is pretty cool. And I can at least email them to my mother. I just think that'd be a nice thing to give her. And it'd be a nice thing to give our kids, too. Maybe not as nice as having, video footage for a year. But pretty good. Still on the fence about what to do. I think we're going to do that drink show, maybe once a month, where we buy a really expensive bottle of alcohol and the cheap ghetto version of it and then just compare them. Think about a name for that. Give me some ideas in the comments below. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I won't. If I do, we will name a drink after you, and we'll mix it up. I guess that's all I got for you tonight, guys. I feel like my sign-off lines, I always miss something at the end. And I feel like later on I should go back and tack it on, but I don't because, oh, Jesus Christ, now I gotta just get off of there. Why, Stinkbug? Why? I'm putting my capo over him for now. I just can't handle it. Oh, there's another one. Alright. You guys take care of yourselves and take care of one another. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you never know when that next moment may not come. You know what I'm saying. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys a little bit further on down the road to 40. Jesus, my hair. I really should wash it more. Maybe I shouldn't wash more. It's kind of funky fresh. I like it. Oh, yeah. Good night, Dr. Carl.